Greetings, fellow pet owners. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages. Episode 60, Puppy-proofing our food and drugs. They won't come back anytime soon. Yo, I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Gels. You saw what we're up against. Maybe you can allocate some more funds or manpower to our, efforts to hold back the gates of hell? You ungrateful guest. Do you even... Oh, no, you did make some friends. Not great friends, but you made some friends. Well, one in the bowl, drug storage, which, you know, I'll queue up soon. A little busy. Alright. Devour's tended enough. That Devour's tended enough. As long as it's not bleeding. Probably not going to die as a result of other factors. Okay. I think we're safe now. Which means... unrestricted and close restricted. That was, So we're still not done with this tower. We're still building watchtowers. That's why I haven't updated the priority. But that was exhilarating, I suppose. Could have been worse, though. And I don't think anyone took permanent body damage. And it gives us a massive advantage for advanced entity research. Having all these high value entities at our disposal now. So, I guess it was a good thing. Just a scary thing. Oh, so, yes, we need to replace that. And then I'm not going to roof it up so that it doesn't, super burn like everything else. But we need to reset our chem drench, and we don't have any hay for that, but we're about to get a huge windfall of hay, because the amount of... Actually, let's harvest early. Because that will help with the food. The detector was in the home zone, so it's already automatically queued for repair. I don't need to do anything for that. Let's go ahead and stop the simple meals. We don't need them anymore. I should probably... Oh, you know what? So what is your 29 years escape? Oh, that's just because you're injured. Almost certainly. Yeah, that's just injury related. Because this isn't a super secure zone. So it's not perfect for Devour containment. But it's good enough, I think. Alright, some of the Devourers that are in the water, I'm just going to leave them there. I don't need to necessarily cremate them. The tower over here is done, so the tower priority is finished. Let's go check its line of sight bonuses. So not on it, Actually, the tower here is like almost worthless because we see everything anyway. Now, of course, there's these mountains that are significant line of sight blockers as well. So maybe it's worth mining. The problem with mining out is the only miners, the only people that does mining in this colony are ones that wear armor, Klein and Dory. So having armor wearers not near our walls is unsafe. But yeah, it provides a line of sight, very good line of sight. Oh, the Devourers broke the watchtower? Holy hell, I didn't realize they did that. I'm gonna get rid of the out of base porcupine zones because we're about to get hay grass for the animals. So I know they're starving at the moment, but they're really about to be fed. As soon as my Ginger, McGee, and Lillian get to it. Can they be used for food? Game mechanics wise, yes, but will I? No. We do not feed monsters to our anything. We don't use their leather, we don't use their meat, we just burn their corpses. The way the God Emperor intends. Okay, so that watchtower is replaced. And we just need to fix up some of the walls, and then we'll start with the, like, combined drug storage task. I'll queue that up as soon as we're done repairing some of the damage done by the monsters. Three shamblers. Sure. Little overboard to issue attack orders with everyone, but as I often say, better overkill than under. But not you, Sean. Sean's like, oh man. Yeah, because look at how fast you move, dude. About half the rate of a normal human. If there was ever a medical exemption, you have it, bud. Alright, in the... Not that these are like predators, but in the effort to replace our meat, we'll also get some... lovely mega sloth. What else is out here? Only a red fox? Yeah, so there's nothing. No, Tyrrells or owl cats or any of that. Owl bear or whatever they are. Hey! Badger, thank you for the resub. Welcome. Cheers. Alright. Miss Lillian. I am getting fed up with the whole not harvesting. So, you are going to be zone restricted. I know. It's a little extreme because I just had you drafted fighting shamblers, and it's not your fault. I get it. But, duck's going to be dying if I don't get you, getting the hay for them. So now that we have, hay grass available, I'm going to link these two shelves together. That will actually be... You must select 2 or more buildings. Oh, I thought I did. Yeah, there we go. Link. Call that animal feed. And give them hay. Just to reiterate the roleplay rules of the series, monsters are to be killed and killed only. Killed, slaughtered, burnt up. They're not to be used by us under any circumstance. They're horrors. They're not a food source, they're not a ranching source, they're not going to be used by us, they're just to be killed. Oh, that sucks. We got so busy. All the bison got, or muffalo rather, got ruined. Except for science. We're studying them... Oh, again? Well, yeah. It's a big old room of rot. We're studying them to understand how they tick, to negate their threat, but we don't eat them, we don't wear their leather, we don't do any of that. None of that's allowed. You know, you'd think with the amount that Ivalka has been sick, she would, like, build up an immunity to lung rot, but nope. Enjoy the corpse pneumonia, or whatever lung rot is. At least the corpses are gone, so it'll go away. Yeah. Oh, by that same token, we don't make our own zombies. We don't do any of the provocations. We are against the anomaly. We're not with the anomaly. Well, we have a lot of... Oh, wow. We somehow... We ran ourselves out of beer because of probably everyone's bad moods. I'm gonna guess... Well, actually, I'm not really sure. But we need to start planting hops again. So we have a lot of tea leaves, but we ran ourselves out of hops and beer pretty quickly. Now that the walls are repaired and the detectors repaired, it is time to unify our storages. So you'll see what that looks like here in a moment. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I'm moving Sean's bedroom, because I want the drugstore to be close to the dining room. So we have to do a little bit of remodeling for this project. Well, we don't have to, but that's how I've decided to do it. So the typical bedroom, let's say, is like 20 to about 20 units. That's a size 20. Actually, you know what? No, I'm going to do it the other way. $21. Perfect. I am undoing what I just did, but it will make sense in the long run. Alright, so we're expanding the kitchen a bit. We have this corridor separating out the butchery from the kitchen on purpose, so they don't blend in with one another. Alright, and then we are going to get a granite door here. And then a series of granite shelves. These are the drug storage shelves. And we're going to put everything that should not be consumed by dogs in there. And that way they don't drink our beer, they don't drink our tea. Because I think probably what was happening when we had a massive shortage of food available to the dogs is that they were probably consuming alcohol as a nutritional source. Oh, hold on. These morons. No, stop putting junk on them. I mean, that's my fault. I wish they defaulted to, like, empty. But whatever, they don't. Alright, so in here, if we have... So I'm going to update the dog zone. So one of the issues that I'm going to have is the dogs... I think I'm going to have the dogs have access to the barns so that they can restock the hay. Which does mean they can hypothetically eat the eggs. But like, oh well, I don't care. So the dogs are going to also gain access to the general stockpile. So that they can help haul things to where they need to go. And the only zone that they're not going to have access to is this one. Where they're not allowed to go into the drug room. That way they can help to haul everything. And also I'm not going to allow them in the kitchen either. It does limit what they're allowed to eat. So I'll keep that in mind. So dogs are staying free of this area. So anything stored in here is not... They can pass through here, as you can see, even with their current zonings. They're allowed to pass through that area, but they're not allowed to stop. And they're not allowed in the alchemy. So in here, we're going to put tea. Beer. And then what I'm going to do is go through and figure out, like, chocolate, probably. Ambrosia. And just go through and if I have to make the room bigger, I will. I can just, you know, destroy it and expand it out if I need to. So on this one... what do we have that we don't want them to eat? So do the heal potions have nutritional value? I don't see that they have any nutrition, so I don't think that they use them. And yeah, I could rename the shelves. Alright, so on these shelves, what don't we want them to eat? Pemmican? I guess I'm kind of okay with them eating pemmican. I don't really care. Let's go through the drug list then. So drugs. We don't want them eating... Cargan, mead... or silocap. And I'm going to group them together because we're never going to have more than a stack of that stuff. So then let's do scarlet scent, smoke leaf, and wine. At some point I might make wine, but we don't have any yet, so it's not a big deal. Yayo. Do I do silocap? Yeah, I already did silocap. Yayo, red tier, and... Lake? And... I don't have any insect jelly. The insect faction doesn't exist. Hypothetically, raiders could come in with insect jelly in their pockets because there's nothing actually stopping them from that. But I don't think I really need to put a stockpile for it. I'll just put the healing drafts there. All right. And let's high priority haul everything so that they all start to put things in there. Organizing our drugs accordingly. Which also means this shelf is no longer needed for the ambrosia. I'll put eggs on this shelf. All unfertilized eggs. I shouldn't be getting go juice because it is a it's not a medieval drug. So it's not to say that it won't exist, like it hypothetically could, but it shouldn't. So I really only have to worry about the drugs that like exist in this world, which is the lower tech. Tea, smoke leaf, ambrosia, beer, mead, wine. Alright, and then once we've spent a little bit of time moving stockpiles around, it should eventually... Oh, why is Alocasia there? This shouldn't be. I'll fix that. Alocasia leaves should be in the alchemy. Okay. So I don't really have the other drugs 1, 2, or 3, or beer. But I'm going to pause the game and just spend a second. So there is 2 healing drafts out here that like I don't have shelving for elsewhere, but I don't see that as a big issue. It doesn't have a nutritional value, so they shouldn't be eating it. There is the possibility that the dogs will eat the duck eggs, but like if they do, oh well, whatever. It's a meal. It's fine. I'm feeding the dogs anyway, so if they eat eggs, it just cuts out the labor of having to make them a meal. Not a big deal. They're not allowed in here to eat the alchemical ingredients, but there's no way to like unify that with the drug bench unless I want to like put my drugs up there, which I didn't want to anyway. So as far as I know, the project is done. It has worked. We're like, as long as they don't go into this room, they don't get access to stuff they shouldn't. And the advantage of this is it will allow the dogs to help haul things like hay grass for the barns. And they'll be again allowed into the general stockpile so that they can haul like stone, wood, metal, etc. So ultimately, I think it's a really positive change. Now, the other thing is, it does mean that what they are allowed to eat, the dogs there, that is, they eat kibble. So in this case, what I might want to do is start to consider making kibble out of hay grass and meat. So I'm gonna do that. So let's go ahead and set up butchering tools. Butchering tools increases actually no, what does it do? Thought it helped with work speed factor. The cleaver rack. Well, essentially, I'm going to want to set up the butchery, doubling it so that we can process more kibble. Because if we're restricting our dogs from eating meat and meals and stuff, we have to feed them something. And we have a lot of them, so that's sort of the concern. Oh, well, let me put on pause for a moment. We got some breachers. Animals, speaking of which, you are already set to inside. I'm going to send Sean out here. He's the slow one. And let's send Ginger out here. She's also slow. And this is just so that I can, like, see if they're taking the water route. Because I don't know how they're approaching. They're breachers. Oh, they're breaking this. Okay, so they're coming through the main area. I think. Yeah, they're just smashing up the entryway. Well, they'll die for it. Are they gonna break the whole thing? Dear Lord, seriously? Okay, let's approach closer so they don't get to just smash everything, because that's obnoxious. So we'll stand here. I'm going to keep Sean and Ginger on the wings for line of sight, so I can see if they pivot and approach differently, because I need to know that to adjust strategy. God, what an annoying raid. I mean, that's what breachers do, I guess. And this is also a good indicator of, like, if these guys bring in new drugs, I can adjust the drug stockpile to stock up the things that they have. So this is going to be expensive to repair, but, like, they're wasting so much time smashing crap that doesn't matter. It'll be really easy for me to survive this one unscathed, as long as I don't potato. Yep, be gone. Animals. You are free roaming. Do we want to release any of them? Yeah, I think I will. I haven't done that in a while. And, I'm not necessarily against it. Because the Stone Stalwarts could be on better terms with us. Or capture and release a few. As far as the drugs they dropped mead. And that is the only need drug. And we already have a mead spot, so. Yeah, I must say, these bridges, giving the breachers like a target, makes breach raids. It actually is like an expensive but fairly reasonable way to handle breach raids, in my opinion. Because you, like, line up all the enemies and it's really easy to kill them as a result. Well, that's awkward. I can't even see the prisoners because of line of sight. You are released. Alright. I did want to do more hunting. Because, heal the other one first. Because, well, we're about to get a lot of corn. Actually, let's go ahead and go back on 5 meals with meat. Because we already have some corn in the stock room. Alright, so these butcher tools is work speed factor 10%, work speed factor 3%, 2%. So we have 115%. Oh, no, this one isn't connected to the other two. I'm going to move the other tables in the middle. So the purpose of this is so that we can make kibble. I'm going to make kibble until we have, let's say 1,000. Make it out of hay and meat only. Never, ever, ever use twisted meat, though. And this is so that we can provide a food source, a shelf-stable food source for the dogs. And the idea here is that the kibble... I don't really have like a dog room, but the kibble will be for the dogs. They have access to other food sources, but like likely they'll probably eat the kibble, I'd imagine. And hopefully not eat corpses like they are currently. That's at least the idea. Once we have the capacity for it. Oh, which would help if I released Lilin, who's one of our cooks. Yeah, so the Unified Drug Room is doing a pretty good job of keeping things out of the hands of the animals. And then the only issue we're going to have is like replacing the southern bridge and dealing with the rot stink of all those corpses as they rot. But hopefully we'll get that cleaned up quick. Do I want to store hay close to the butchery? That's a fine idea. So let's do it like this. We'll make a double shelf there for hay, but have this as important and not critical. So primarily the hay gets stored for animals to eat, but yeah. I think what I'll do is the plant cut. Oh, they are all on high priority hall. The plant cut and grow. I'll make sure that we are grabbing the hay for the day. That was a task that hasn't been done yet. So that's Lilin, McGee, and Ginger. We should see doing that. So I'll just sort of like watch them to make sure that it gets done. You are doing animal work. Not anymore. Mike. And Sean, Roy, and Dory can handle that. So then you're like, I'll just recreate. Well, guess what? I caught you not doing what I want you to do, so you get to clean. It's like, damn it. Tending to... Nope. Well, you are the doctor. There we go. Now we're actually harvesting. It looks like Serenity is coming to haul the hay for the horses. No, hauling the hay for... Well, still, hauling the hay where it belongs. Sweet. I think this little drug storage project optimizes a lot of the issues that we've been having in a good way. And once we have the kibble bench and the hay bench, or shelves rather, it'll get even better. Because then we turn all this hay into kibble, and then I might even change the amount of kibble that we make, but we should be fixing a lot of the sort of issues that we've been having for a while. And the dogs have access to this area, which means they should be able to haul the... Oh, you know what? The dogs probably shouldn't have access to here, though. They should be able to haul their own kibble if they want to the shelves. Yep, and it's getting hauled. Nice. Also include pemmican here too. Because I don't... That's a fine food source for them as well. Nice. 600. 600. Yes, this is working. So the animals have a full shelf of hay available to them. And the dogs have kibble to eat and pemmican to eat. And we have our own meals. Now, the only thing that I've seen so far is because the animals can't access the kitchen, they can't haul the corn back to the kitchen, but, like, that's fine. It's more or less by design. So, a lot of stuff got streamlined in a good way. Awesome. The other thing that I don't, that I realize is I'm not entirely sure my colonists are even allowed to eat chocolate. So, given that we're growing it, I'm adding it to their diets. We haven't touched a single piece. I'm not really sure that the chocolate would taste very good, considering we don't actually grow sugar. So it would be baker's chocolate, bitter as hell, like really unenjoyable. But, you know, they don't know any different. They've never tasted sugar. Oh, these are max connected 1 per building? That's annoying. Let me just remodel the wall a little bit. Actually, this one... No, it says that, but it's not. It's connected to both. The original recipe for chocolate was made with salt. Yikes. Allow the dogs to haul to the floor of the kitchen. Oh, that could be a good... Yeah, we could do that. And then they'll move it to the shelves. That makes sense. So I'll have them haul to this corner. And that should help to move the corn. Nice. I love me some streamlined management. Of course, I haven't seen any of them actually do any of that hauling. Is that because it's not valid? Oh, yes. That's because the kitchen overflow is low, and these shelves are normal. So the kitchen overflow has to be preferred. And then it will start moving. Because the shelves are important. There we go. Now it's getting done. They have plenty of food. And we have streamlined hauling labor. Now, the only problem with this setup is this kibble and pemmican is technically available for wildlife to eat because it's like out in the So I'm going to move it in here. It's a little weird, but I'm going to move it in here just so that it's like, because that's a door that closes, so it's not provided to the wildlife. I just realized that because I have open doors to everything, this is like fair game for like crows and whatever else wanders in. So far, it's mostly been crows. And it's also just a shorter run for people hauling the kibble, so that's like not strictly a bad thing. There we go. Well, that priority project is done, so I'll mark it as complete and say vote for the priority. And I am going to leave off here, having fended the base off from, what, 121 zombies, shamblers rather, 15 devourers, a breach siege. I forget how many there were, but we're still repairing the last door breached by them. We enclosed our entire fortress with walls, added watchtowers, which we haven't assigned guards to, but we could, and even entertained the king. Although I think we just like systematically insulted him, but still entertained the king as he visited our humble abode. And that, friends, is where I'm going to live off for the week. Thank you for tuning in to RimWorld: The Darkest Ages, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rhadamant.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow Dread Knights.